Good evening. Welcome to our business meeting of May 25th, 2021. Could I have a motion to come out of executive session? Thank you, Mr. Wallace. Can I have a second? Thank you, Virginia. All in favor? Motion passes. Please stand for the presentation of colors and Pledge of Allegiance by our Riverhead NJROTC.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You may be seated. Move on to opportunity for high school student representatives.
Good evening. Last week, our juniors had their prom at Eastwind, and they were amused and happy with how it was and had a grand time with all of their friends there. Also, the PTSO is hosting the senior picnic on June 11th, where there will be games, food, and music, and this will all be on the back field of the high school, where we'll also be having our senior countdown. Furthermore, tomorrow night, the school will be hosting the academic award night at 6 o'clock. Students will be allowed to be there, but the ceremony will be hosted for parents to watch at a later time. Moreover, next week, the school will also be having scholarship night for seniors only, and this will also be held at a later time for parents to watch at home. Lastly, the class of 2021 is in the process of establishing a class gift. A gift that we have in mind would be to fix up and refurbish the courtyard. Currently, our courtyard is being used in order for kids to have lunch, but we would love to add to it and add our own personal touches to it. Our goal is to fix up the flower boxes within the courtyard and decorate them with flowers and quotes. We also want to add pebbles to a bench that was donated to us and paint over the anchors and chairs. On behalf of the class, our question to the board is, what can we do in order to fix up the courtyard? How and when will we be able to do this? And would we be able to ask local organizations in order to donate goods to us? Thank you.
Thank you. And we're going to do recognition of tenure appointments. These are tenures that took place between March 2020 through August 2020. Because the things were closed down, we couldn't recognize them properly.
So thank you to all of our semi-newly tenured individuals that joined us this evening. So I'll read the list of all of the individuals that have received tenure a year ago, starting September 1 in most cases. I know most of you are here, so if they're not, we'll hold a certificate and get that to them at a later date. So congratulations, Jeffrey Almanitis, Marissa Brown, Congratulations, Marissa. Marnie Bustecker. Congratulations, Marnie.
Thank you so much.
Caitlin Carrigan. William Casey. Jennifer Cook. Congratulations, Jen. Yvette Cortez. Marielle DiGaetano. Lauren DiMartino. Nicole Emmerich. Congratulations, Nicole. Stephanie Espinal. Daniel Estrada. Stephanie Galvez. Nicole Herbst. Kerry Jones Golembeski. Tammy Kohler. Deanna Leifson. Melanie Leteri. John Manal. Elizabeth Morse. Melanie Orlowski. Holly Payton. Congratulations, Holly. Melissa Rice. Congratulations, Melissa. Thank you. Peter Rodriguez. Jacqueline Scala. Amanda Scalcione. Vanessa Sosa. Corinne Taby. Congratulations, Corinne. Kristen Tuber. Congratulations, Kristen. Matthew Barbero and Stephanie Zuhosky. Congratulations to all of you receiving tenure, well deserved.
Well, congratulations to all. Public comments on agenda items. Do we have any online? None? Superintendent's report.
Thank you, Mrs. Downs. So the recent news from the governor that lifts some restrictions for mask use is certainly welcome news for many. However, the governor also stated that schools are exempt from these changes. Today, superintendents in Suffolk County received a letter from the Suffolk County Department of Health Services Commissioner, Dr. Gregson Piggott. Dr. Piggott wrote that the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention and the New York State Department of Health have both been clear that existing school guidance should be followed through the end of this school year. This includes universal mask wearing, even if students are spaced 6 feet apart. As the weather is getting warmer, frequent mask breaks will be in place, especially when the students are outside for recess and physical education. We are awaiting guidance for what protocols, if any, will need to be followed in September when the 21-22 school year begins. So at this time, I would like to invite our high school administration team, Sean O'Hara, Kellyanne Parlato, Nicole Taylor, and Jason Rockhampt to the podium.
Good evening, Madam President and trustees of our Board of Education. We appreciate the opportunity to present this evening. Joining me tonight are Assistant Principals Ms. Kellyanne Parlato, Ms. Nicole Taylor, Assistant Principal and Director of Fine Arts, Mr. Jason Rockhampt, and our Director of Guidance, Mr. Charles Gassar. Before we begin, we would like to commend our students from the NJROTC for the ever-powerful presentation of our nation's colors and for leading us in the Pledge of Allegiance tonight. We are proud of our students, proud of our programs, and we appreciate them being with us tonight. We would like to begin where I left off in January when I presented the graduation rate for the class of 2020. During that presentation, I acknowledged the performance and improvement in several of our subgroups, and I cited our dropout rate as one area of concern. I also explained the immediate work to be done. Our data team, made up of teachers and administrators, has been working hard, analyzing historical dropout data. We have also created and conducted exit surveys with students from the class of 2021 that we have identified as exited early. We are still working on reaching all of the students on that list, but the information that we have collected has been invaluable. Below are some of the questions that were asked, but I would like to focus on a few that resonate and help provide us with direction. The first question on this slide is, what were your expectations before attending Riverhead High School? Students had an opportunity to select all that applied, and as you can see, 71% expected to graduate high school, 14% expected to go on to college, and 50% expected to learn English. The next question was an open-ended question. What would have improved your chances of staying in school? And the same two responses kept surfacing. The need for a flexible schedule, and if I didn't need to work. If we look at the left side of this slide, 46% of the non-completers who responded are currently looking for full-time work. 31% plan to enroll in a GED preparation program, and 23% plan to re-enroll at Riverhead High School. And this will be important as it will have an impact on our 5- and 6-year graduation rates. 57% of the non-completers who responded felt that they had opportunities and channels to communicate their feelings about relationships, academics, and school activities. On the left-hand side of this slide, we see that 69% of the non-completers who responded felt that they were not aware of any supports, programs, or staff that they could see as potentially being beneficial to keeping them in school. And 79% of the individuals who responded felt that they would have stayed in school if they had an opportunity to attend in the evening or on the weekends. Our data team is also creating an early warning system, which will be a screener that will help us identify students sooner who are at risk for not graduating or not meeting requirements on time. In addition, for the remainder of this school year, we have received a supplemental allocation grant for English language learners. Our Director of E&L and World Languages for grades 5 through 12, Ms. Stevenson, has developed a program that will provide additional instructional and social-emotional support for 12th grade English language learners who are at risk of not graduating. As we move forward, we are so thankful for the board's support of bringing back an alternative program. We have reviewed successful neighboring programs, and we will be pulling components from each in order to provide the best possible educational experience for our students who have not been able to find success in the traditional daytime school model. We are extremely excited to pilot our 9th grade Blue Wave Academy. The Academy will follow a teaming philosophy for students who demonstrate the need for intensive support in literacy and mathematics. One of the key components is that English and social studies will be scheduled back-to-back so that those teachers can engage in interdisciplinary units as well as support similar skills in both of the content areas. Another key component is that teachers will be given common planning time where they will be able to discuss student progress, share best practices, and communicate with parents and guardians. We are expanding our Student Ambassador Program so that we will be able to link peer advisors with each student who is new to the district at Riverhead High School. These peer advisors will be responsible to help new students get acclimated to our building and our schedule, as well as find resources and support within our building as well as within our community. We also hope to provide seminars to our new students that will feature successful upperclassmen as well as alumni who can share their experience about our programs at Riverhead High School, as well as the importance of a high school diploma. And we are very proud of our continued parent outreach. Ms. Parlato will be speaking a little bit about the portal training that took place, but I would like to mention the work of our Parent Admin Connection, our PAC. This year, we met 4 times, twice in the morning, twice in the evening. Next year, we plan to increase the number of meetings that we hold, offering AM and PM sessions in the same day or on consecutive days, so that parents will be able to discuss current issues. The great thing about PAC is that there is no agenda for these meetings. The agenda develops organically with the concerns and questions that parents bring to us. And now I would like to turn it over to Mr. Gassar.
Good evening. Where am I going here? Got it. I would like to talk a little bit about the guidance office at the high school. I am going to speak just a very little bit about some of the responsibilities we have and some of the goals that we have set for outside of the high school. But for those of you that may not be aware, guidance office at Riverhead High School is pretty much communication central. We handle a multitude of responsibilities, including transcripts. We are the only building and office within the district that does our own withdrawals. We handle the publication and mailing or posting of progress reports and report cards. We do handle all scholarship offerings. In fact, a week from tomorrow night is our scholarship awards night. We have about 70 students receiving awards. We're very excited about that. We handle the publication of our course offering booklet, which is posted online yearly, and that includes all the information about every single course that's offered at Riverhead High School, including graduation requirements and course weights, student rank, etc. Really anything that anyone has a question about is answered in there, and that's updated yearly. We also have the responsibility of creating and building the entire master schedule for Riverhead High School, which is a tremendous job that starts as early as October and concludes usually about a week before school begins, formalized. We also handle all home instruction for our students that cannot make it to school for whatever reason. Usually it's a medical situation. So we're charged with putting together their educational program and making sure that all their goals are being met. And we also handle a credit recovery program, which is something that was introduced to the high school within the last 7 or 8 years. And this is an opportunity for seniors that have previously failed a course, yet are not capable of fitting the course into the regular school day. And therefore, we offer them an after-school opportunity to make up those courses. And that has been very instrumental in helping us with our on-time graduation. Our students are graduating with their cohort. We also handle all Regents testing. That includes June testing and January testing. August testing is done through summer school, which we do not handle. And we're also in charge of the AP program at Riverhead High School. I am the AP coordinator. Talk a little bit more about that in a moment. Some of the programming opportunities we have, and I will be honest with you, some of them were abbreviated this year due to the closures that we had, but we did manage to offer all of them to our students, a little different than we have in years past, but we learned some things, and we look forward to bringing them back with our full attendance next year as more students are in the building. But as I said, we also learned from the virtual world, and we're going to incorporate some of those, some of the benefits that we were able to gain from them. We do an on-site admission day where we have usually 7 or 8 private Long Island colleges come to the high school in one day. We try to make it an event. Schools all will waive their application fees. Over the last few years, we have had an average of $14,000 saved by students in application fees that are attending those events. Students sign up in advance. We have a wonderful program every year the day before our Thanksgiving holiday. We call it Campus Connections, whereby we invite anywhere from 12 to 15 or 14 graduated seniors, so students that have graduated the year before, to come back. Students that are going to SUNY schools, that are going local, commuting to schools, students that are going to private schools within New York State, outside of New York State, and basically sitting right where the board is right now, and they share their experiences. We bring our seniors down, they sign up in advance, and it runs for about 2 periods. The seniors get breakfast beforehand, and then they come in and they meet with our existing our alumni and have a chance to answer questions. It's a wonderful event. It's really it is an annual event. It kind of kicks off the Thanksgiving holiday. And once again, planning for that will be starting within the next month. We have college rep visits coming through the high school. We have about 25 a year, anywhere between 20 and 30, say 25 a year, whereby representatives will come through, meet with students. We source our students in the beginning of the year. We know what they're looking for, what type of majors they're going for. So we don't just, in many high schools, they will just put a table in the cafeteria and let a college rep stand there, and anyone that wants to speak to them can do so. And occasionally a student might want to walk by and pick up a lanyard or a pen and say hello. But at Riverhead High School, we really try to target it. We find students that are looking to pursue the majors that the schools are offering. So these are usually more intimate settings in one of our conference rooms. We might have 3, 4, 5 Riverhead High School seniors with 1 rep. But the response that we get from the representatives is overwhelming. They say the students that we're bringing them have an interest, and many times they turn out to be nice connections where the students end up applying to those schools, in fact. We run 2 college fairs a year. We were not able to do that this year. We did have some online college fairs, but traditionally we run a fall event for our seniors and a spring event in late March for our juniors. These have over 120 schools attending at each event in the gymnasium. Again, it's something that we've done for about the last decade, and we will continue to do so starting again this year. I run a bi-monthly guidance newsletter that is posted on the webpage. We have it in English, we have it in Spanish. And as of recently, Mr. O'Hara has been incorporating it into his Blue Wave newsletter. So that is something that our community looks forward to. Lots of important, timely information. Also, for about the last decade, we facilitated an in-school PSAT exam for our 11th grade students. And starting 2 years ago, we started to institute the pre-ACT exam for our 10th grade students. We run them both the same day in school, and these are free of charge for Riverhead students. Right here, you can just see a quick photograph of some of our students at one of our college fairs talking to the admission representatives. And this is a photograph from the St. Joseph's representative at our on-site college application day. We run that usually in the library. There have been times we ran it in the gymnasium because we've had so many students attending. This past year, we really, as did the entire district, jumped into technological innovation. The guidance counselors all received Google Classroom training. They all got their own Chromebooks. Thank you, Mr. Hines. They all now maintain active grade-level Google Classrooms. This is fantastic as far as communications go to students, to parents. All of our guidance counselors incorporate technology into all of their student meetings, whether it be setting students up on college planning software, college application software such as the Naviance program, our college board accounts, college entrance exams, Common App. Everything is online now, and it really works hat in hand in taking the advantage of the opportunities that the district provided to us as far as the training went was something that was sorely needed in the guidance office, and I'm very happy to say that we are ahead of the curve at this point and where we need to be. We also bring I did say I was going to talk a little bit about outside the high school. Traditionally, we start our college planning or career exploration software with our 8th grade students through their social studies classes in the middle school. This coming year, we will be bringing that down to our 7th grade students, where they will be starting that up. So then, starting from 7th grade up through their senior year of high school, every year the students are going to have opportunities working with their guidance counselors, working with programming, whether it be career explorations or whether it be understanding how the college application process works, or just general college awareness for our middle school students. But we'll be taking that to the next level starting next year. We were going to do it this year. We couldn't do it due to the virtual situation, but we did do it for some interested students. We piloted it. Next year, we'll go for the entire grade. As I said, technology is part of every student presentation, whether it be in computer labs, in the library, in classrooms. That is something that we've been doing the last several years. This year, even with our virtual students, we did it through our classrooms, through Google Classroom Google Meets with our students that the guidance counselors facilitated every week. And we will continue to do that for next year. Again, just a photograph working with some students. This was actually taken last year. Notice the no mask. That was not this year. I did mention that the guidance office runs the AP program at the high school, and I'm very proud to say that it is an incredibly robust AP program. We have one of the top AP programs, I believe, in all of Suffolk County, and as the AP coordinator, I can testify to that because I speak to my colleagues across the county on a daily basis. So starting back in 2009, we offered 11 AP courses. This past year, we offered 22 AP courses. So we have doubled our number. The way that AP courses work is that it culminates in a final exam of sorts. It's called an AP exam, Advanced Placement Exam, and they are offered over a 2-week period each May, the first 2 weeks of May. Today, we just concluded our last pen and paper exam at the high school, but we've been running them for the last 2 weeks with the help of all of our administrators, everyone pitching in as far as getting them off the ground and having them run successful, and they were very successful. When the students take the exams, it is not part of their final average because the scores are graded, their exams are graded through College Board, and they're not done until June and July. So the students don't get their score results back until mid-July. It's based on a rubric of 1 through 5. 3 is considered passing, and I can tell you that less than 50% of students across the country get a 3 or higher on the AP exams. And in 2018, we had 51% of our students were earning a 3 or higher. In 2019, 52%. As of last year, we had 67% of the exams taken by Riverhead High School students earned a 3 or higher. So we're certainly moving in the right direction with that as far as that goes. And we'll see how things fare this year, but I'm excited to see how it turns out because we've, again, had record numbers of students taking these exams. And one of the things that I'm very excited to mention is the opportunity that's coming up. It is the ACA grant opportunity. It's virtual AP courses. Ms. Toro was very involved in writing a grant through Nassau BOCES, and we were the lucky recipients of that grant. And what it's going to give us the opportunity to do is to have our students take 3 courses. Now, these are 3 courses that we do not ordinarily offer at Riverhead High School. It's statistics, human geography, and environmental science. And our students are going to be able to take those courses virtually this coming year. And again, free of charge, no charge for the exam. It should work out very well. We're very excited because these are opportunities that they wouldn't have had otherwise. AP Scholars, these are scholar awards through AP. Again, these are off of national numbers. This past year, we had 55 students that were received 3s or higher in AP exams. We had a 3 or higher on 3 or more AP exams. Let me clarify that. We had 18 scholars with honors, and again, this was a 3 or higher of 4 or more exams. 13 scholars with distinction, which is a 3.5 on all AP exams, and we had 1 national scholar, which is the highest that they can offer, and that is going to be at least a 4 on all exams taken. So tremendous effort there. We also have a tremendous program here, the early college program. The fact of our geographics makes us the beneficiary of this. We actually offer our students the opportunity to take a bus over to Suffolk Community College in Riverhead, take courses there. They can take any course that's being offered. They are not traveling as a pack. They go into any classroom where there are matriculating students taking place. They may be one Riverhead student, or there may be more than one Riverhead student, depending upon how many register for that class. But what we're most excited about that is if you look at the tuition, the early college tuition is only 1/4 of the regular SUNY tuition. Therefore, we have students that are graduating Riverhead High School with 30 SUNY credits, okay? State University of New York credits. It costs them a grand total of $1,710. If they were to take that as soon as they graduated Riverhead High School, the price goes up to $6,840. So great opportunity there, and the district also provides busing back and forth. This past year we had a virtual program, but Suffolk is going to be offering live classes come the fall. We have dual enrollment courses, another opportunity for students to earn college credit and get the post-secondary experience. And this is actually while they're in Riverhead High School, taught by Riverhead High School teachers who are credentialed to work with Stony Brook University. And as you can see, they are a variety from business courses to science courses to social studies courses and foreign language courses. At this point, I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Nicole Taylor.
Thank you, Mr. Gassar, and good evening. I am really excited to share some progress that the Business Education Department has made over the past 3 years. Some of the things that we have been working on is students were involved in a Shark Tank themed competition. We did call it our Chamber Tank competition, in which students, specifically from Miss Laspina's marketing classes, they did create a business plan. They created a product or an invention, and they did pitch their ideas to a team of guest sharks. We worked in collaboration with the Riverhead Chamber of Commerce. These coaches actually worked with our students over the course of 10 weeks, meeting with them on Wednesdays. It was a volunteer meeting, and each Wednesday there were about 20 to 25 students that joined these mentors and coaches from the community, and it was just an amazing event. There were 17 teams in total, and of those 17 teams, there was about $4,000 in donations that came from the community, which was given to the students at the culmination of the project last week. That event was held at the Residence Inn, and the students just really learned a lot from these coaches, and we're looking forward to hosting the same competition next year, hopefully engaging more of our business education students, as we will be bringing on more classes next year, and that includes accounting. So one team that entered our competition, they are 3 basic life skills students from our BSD program in the high school. They had created a business of their own, and when they had launched this business idea to me, I had asked, I would really love for you guys to enter this Shark Tank competition. They did such a phenomenal job with their project. They have created over 300 bandanas. The bandanas are for pets. They can be monogrammed with the pet's name or just have the Riverhead logo on them. And the members from the community thought so highly of this project that they also donated money so that they could buy another cricket machine, which is being used in the library. The students have learned how to use this, and they do this all on their own. So they've learned some amazing skills that they will take forward with them into the workplace. We're really proud of them. In an effort to increase communication, we have launched the RHS Monthly Wave. This is a monthly newsletter in which we talk about all different areas, RHS happenings, we call it, accomplishments, news, any important information that we need to get out to our students, to our families. And the interesting piece about our RHS Monthly Wave is we can track the analytics of where this newsletter is being accessed, how long people are spending on the site, where we'll call it top trending hyperlinks are. So interestingly enough, you can see that we have reached over 90 locations in the world with this newsletter. So it's very interesting to see where it's going, and each month is different locations. And this is our third month coming up. You'll also see, where people are spending the most time, so we know where we can improve upon, and we know where our community interest is. So we look forward to our next issue that will be coming out soon. We are also very proud to share that finally, after 3 years in the making, the Garfield and Langhorne Veterans Wall of Honor, we are going to be unveiling and having a ceremony on Tuesday, June 1st at 3 p.m. We have invited all of the veterans that have applied to be on this wall. Currently, I have 87 veterans that we are going to be celebrating and honoring. When I had reached out to these veterans, some of them are out of state or some of them are still in service, so they had asked for the event to possibly be live streamed. So they are excited that I was able to. Thank you, Mr. Hines and Ms. Tona, thank you for making that a possibility. I hope that you can all join us. It will be here, and then the wall is going to be constructed right outside of the auditorium here. So we look forward to that as well. Now I'd like to introduce Ms. Kelly Parlato.
Good evening, everyone. And I would just like to say thank you for having me here tonight, having us here tonight. It's an honor to present to you just the happenings that are taking place at Riverhead High School. One of the areas that Mr. O'Hara mentioned was the parent portal registration night. We recognize that because of COVID, there was a lack of connectiveness that the parents were feeling with the high school. And this was an opportunity for us to seize. And so we began parent portal registration. And what that meant was we met with parents Wednesday afternoon or Wednesday evenings. And not only did we register them for the portal, but we showed them how to navigate the portal. We showed them what things meant on the computer and using their cell phone, because 9 times out of 10, they're using their cell phone. So this was very helpful. Out of this came the need for, some kids were having Chromebook issues, and we were able to help and address that. Some kids we found were looking to quit or drop out, and we managed to get them back in, and they're back in school and they're thriving. So it really is a perfect way to connect with the families and establish a one-on-one relationship with them, and so that they know that they have a person here at the school. And what's amazing about this is we started in February, the end of February, and in 2 months, we went from 54% registered parent registration portal to 75%. So I can't imagine what could happen next if we continue this process. So it's something that we're super proud of here. Some of the student activities that we did, I just wanted to share some pictures. So thank you all for approving the spring clubs this spring, because the kids have been so active. We have 48 clubs running this year. And here I just wanted to show you some pictures. Key Club, they hosted a beach cleanup. They had a food drive, and they worked with the Phillips Avenue Food Pantry. We also had our Student Ambassadors program up and running again. And we also had Interact Club, who they donated socks, and they wrote letters to the Acadia Nursing Home, in which, they were so isolated with COVID that, they felt disconnected. So it was really just a warm touch. We also provided, believe it or not, some therapeutic services. So the E&L Support Club provided free Zumba, dance events, and also bilingual yoga, which was pretty exciting because staff participated as well as the students. We also had the WISE program, and that is Women in Science and Engineering, and that's in conjunction with Stony Brook University. And so that was running as well, and they conducted a survey. So it's pretty exciting, some of the great things that the students are doing, and COVID didn't stop them, so I'm pretty excited about that too. And we also started our Blue Wave News, thanks to the PTSO who donated equipment. We now have camera. It's all student run, and it's run with the journalism class. So there's your first feature article. Fun ways to reduce stress. So it's a pretty exciting piece because the kids actually run the news program. And some of you were able to see the Spirit Week. Oh, excuse me. Oh. Sorry. So some of you were able to come walk through the hallways and see Spirit Week, which was pretty exciting. The classes competed against one another. It was nice to walk into the building, and just the decorations alone. The staff were excited. The students were excited. The seniors had SpongeBob. Of course, they won. But the freshmen came in a close second. So it was exciting to see just the level of spirit that the students were showing during March. And the other program that we ran was also the Angelo del Toro Puerto Rican Hispanic Youth Leadership Institute. This has been running for quite some time, and this year in particular, because of COVID, we knew it was going to be hard. But we basically sent 2 students up to Albany to perform or produce in a mock legislative assembly, and they actually have to debate bills that are coming to the floor for New York State. So they're actually going to meet with their assemblymen, they interview, and this year we were lucky, we still were able to participate in it through the Zoom. However, last year we were very fortunate. Of the 3 scholarships at Suffolk County, Riverhead received both of them, so 2 of them. So that's impressive, and they were significant gifts, scholarships for the seniors. So it's just some of the proud things that are taking place, and COVID's not stopping our kids, and that's the best part about this. Thank you. I'd like to introduce Jason Rockhampt, Fine Arts Director.
Hello, everyone. It's good to see you all, and I'm happy to present Art and Music for Riverhead High School. Just a quick profile of Art and Music here at Riverhead High School. You can see our current student enrollment and projected student enrollment for next year. And over the next 2 years or so, I plan to see that continue to increase as we come out of as we go into post-pandemic. As students enter Riverhead High School, they can either decide to go an art pathway or they can go a music pathway. Incoming 9th graders decide whether they want to take studio art, creative crafts, or design and drawing for production, and that can lead into other more advanced classes such as advanced computer graphics, advanced ceramics, and AP art history or AP studio art. Students who are music students who decide to take the music pathway, they start off in either a 9th grade choir, 9th grade band, concert orchestra, and they follow that path along for the next 4 years with the same teacher into either symphonic band, senior choir, or symphony orchestra. So they get to build a rapport, they get to build that relationship with that teacher over a long period of time, and it's probably one of the best parts of the job I had as a band director was being able to build a relationship with the students, so it's really great. We also have the opportunity for students in music to take music theory and also take AP music theory as well, which they can get college credit for. Even through the pandemic, students in art and music still were able to accomplish much. And I just want to highlight a few things. If you look up there on the screen, to the right there's a picture of Martin Luther King Jr. And that was a project that was put together by East End Arts Council. And that was actually a collaboration there between Riverhead High School and Southampton High School. Each high school had 8 panels, and each school did 8 panels, and then they were put together and they were put on display in each high school. So it spent 1 week in Riverhead High School, 1 week in Southampton High School, and it was a great collaborative project, and also let students from Southampton see what it looks like, art looks like here in Riverhead, and vice versa. It was a really nice collaboration to see happen. The COVID-19 collective art mural, which I'll talk about, and I have some examples of that up there on the presentation. We also have some student artwork on display at the Riverhead Free Library through the end of the month. Students from creative crafts and ceramics have some displays there that, again, are open to the public to go see. They are currently open for half-hour viewings to go through Riverhead Free Library if anybody's interested. Again, that'll be through the end of the month. Also in music, music was was very hard hit with the pandemic, but we still had students who qualified and participated in many all-county, all-state, all-Eastern, and all-national ensembles, and I'll talk a little bit more about that as we get through the presentation there. It was a much different year as far as virtual performances are concerned. In our creative crafts and our ceramics class, we are currently involved in what's called a Poppy project. As if you look up there, students in creative crafts and ceramics are producing these red ceramic poppies. This is actually was inspired by a public art installation by Paul Cummins called Blood-Swept Lands and Seas of Red. The installation occurred in the moat of the Tower of London in 2014 to mark the 100th anniversary of the outbreak of the Great War. 888,246 ceramic red poppies were installed, which represented the life, each one represented the life of a British or colonial soldier that was killed. For Riverhead, our students are going to be installing 200 red ceramic poppies at the World War I Memorial right here in downtown Riverhead. It will be installed this Thursday and will be on display through the Memorial Day weekend. So it will be a nice thing to see when they go down to do the ceremony at World War I. All those red poppies, all 200, will be installed and displayed right around the flame and the new garden that was just recently done. I believe Home Depot did something with that. It looks really beautiful. So again, that will be on display from May 27th through June 1st. One of our art teachers here, Ms. Joanne Della Pasta, had a great idea to come up with a Riverhead High School community art project. There's a little saying or something that she wrote to inspire this project, and basically what the project was she asked students, faculty, staff to think of one word that represented their feeling on the pandemic, to write that word on a Post-it note, and if they wanted to, they could also include some artwork in it. And during the time, there were about 200 students, faculty, and staff that participated in this, and they all wrote down a word that made them, that to them, they felt described the pandemic. And this is what we came up with. It is a display graphic mural that is a blue wave with the Riverhead R in the center there, and it's a little bit difficult to see here, but all of those Post-it notes are up there, all individually, each one of them from a different student, teacher, or staff member here in the high school. So also on the bottom there is a word cloud, and after this project was done, we plugged, Joanne Della Pasta plugged all these words into the word cloud to see which was the most common word that came up from students and everybody during the pandemic, and the biggest one was overwhelmed. So it was certainly one of the big ones, overwhelmed, confused. So and if you were to go out right now to the main lobby in Riverhead High School, this is on display right in front of the guidance office. It was a great way for students and staff to express their feelings, and also some great collective and collaborative artwork here at Riverhead High School. Performing ensembles, this was definitely a big change for everybody. We had performing ensembles, band, orchestra, chorus. We had to deal with some very tight restrictions when we entered in September. We were dealing with, in band and chorus, 12 feet apart with masks. Orchestra fared a little bit better because they don't have to expel air, so they were able to be 6 feet with the masks, but it was very, very challenging. Fortunately, we have such dedicated staff, administration, Board of Education, and community support that we did not miss a beat. The students came in the beginning, even though band, chorus, and orchestra looked different, they still had it, which was very, very important. I have heard of other places that had to stop because they couldn't manage the scheduling, but luckily, with all of the collaboration and work within Riverhead High School, we were able to creatively schedule all of our students so they would all have their ensemble at least once a week in the beginning, just to make sure that it was in their schedule. Fortunately now, we're at the point where all the students have it 4 days a week, almost back to the way it was. Ensembles are filling up. As you can see up there, that's what the ensembles look like now. Still very spaced out. We're still going with all the spacing. Luckily, they brought everything down to 6 feet, which makes it a little bit easier to have an ensemble feeling, because it is definitely different when you're used to sitting next to somebody and now they're 6 feet from you. It's a very, very different feeling, but we are very fortunate that things are getting better, and it looks like we are going back to what we used to be, which was awesome. And all of the performances, unfortunately we haven't had a performance yet, but we will be having a performance this June coming up, which I'll talk about before I end my section of this presentation. But students who did participate in all-county, all-state, did it virtually. I watched a lot of virtual concerts. I was part of the NISPTA virtual concert, which we had students, 3 high school students participate in, and it is a lot of work to put all of those squares together. I'm sure you've all seen the square videos. One of our teachers here at Riverhead Middle School did one of her bands, and she told me that each one took about 60 hours worth of work on her part to actually put it all together and line it up. So big undertaking, and we also had about 30 students, Riverhead High School, participate in NISMA virtually as well. Everything was done virtually this year, so it was very, very different, but we still succeeded, and students are going on, and we're still being very creative and doing what we need to do for sure. Some of our year-end events that are coming up, I mentioned the Poppy installation at the World War I Monument. Art in Action, we are going to be going with a virtual Art in Action. The website will go live on Friday, June 11th. That'll be posted on the district website, on the Facebook site, so that everyone can have access to that. We will be having our spring concert for the high school. Fortunately, we are going to do it outdoors. Tuesday, June 8th, starting at 5:30 with a staggered schedule so that we don't have too many people bunched up together to watch their children perform, which is going to be great. Chamber concerts, which are the jazz ensemble, wind ensemble, chamber orchestra and chamber choir, will be Friday, June 4th at Grandeur Bell Park, 6:30 p.m. And we have this awesome opportunity with the Blue Masks movie night, Friday, June 4th at McKillop Field at 9 p.m. It's going to be a really, really great thing. The Blue Masks have been working hard to put on the musical, High School Musical, and they've been filming it in sections using different parts of the building. They've used the auditorium, the cafeteria, the gymnasium, and it's all going to be pieced together and premiered that evening, June 9th at 9 p.m. If for some reason you cannot make that showing, there'll be additional showings that can be live streamed from your home as well. So we're really very excited about that. We're excited to see our students come together, be creative, be with the arts, and again, it all wouldn't be possible without all the collective and collaborative help with this community, this board, and this administration, so I can't thank you all enough for that. And before I step away for a second, I would be remiss if I did not mention our wonderful athletics program. It's been a short season due to the pandemic, and I feel like the students are just getting started. The season is almost over, it seems. But I could certainly tell you, seeing the students come back into the building, having their lacrosse gear, having their baseball gear coming in, their faces light back up again. They have something to look forward to. The morale is up, and it's really nice to see them get back into it. Some of these students will at least get to have their senior games, and it's just great to see all that, and we're just so very happy that we were able to get this done and have this opportunity for the students. So I thank you all for your time this evening, and I'd like to reintroduce Mr. Sean O'Hara back to the podium.
Thank you, Mr. Rockhampt. So our faculty and staff members have worked incredibly hard this year to engage both in-person and remote students. And I just want to point out work that our social workers have done to make sure that everybody has access to the social emotional connections that they need. This is a screenshot of their e-board. You can see there's a plethora of resources, everything from housing information, food distribution, and pantry information to crisis hotlines. The thing that's so important about this e-board that they put together is that it is available 365 days a year, 24/7. What an amazing job they did during such a crucial time for all of our community members, parents, staff members, students especially. Anybody can access these resources whenever they feel the need. And we would like to thank our PTSO for their amazing support of our students, staff, and programs. As you can see from the pictures up there, from gingerbread decorating contests to scavenger hunts for our seniors to filling our lobbies with these beautiful balloon arches to help us celebrate PS I Love You Day for awareness of mental health awareness. They have been amazing every step of the way. And Mrs. Mary Mackey celebrated her last PTSO meeting last week, and she has done an incredible job. We really appreciate her effort as well as everybody on the PTSO board. We were greeted in September with those signs of motivation that you see on the bottom right. And when Mrs. Mary Mackey says to you that she would like to bring in some coffee for the staff members, I was expecting a couple of boxes of Joe. I was going to meet her out into the parking lot, and I said, this is great. Everybody's going to appreciate this so much. But she had a wagon full of everything that you see in the picture on the upper left. Everything from a beautiful new blue Keurig machine to K-Pods to sugar creamers, disposable cups, and a beautiful placemat. That's how Mrs. Mackey does it, and it's so appreciated, and that currently resides in our faculty and staff lounge. And of course, PTSO is sponsoring events for our seniors for June, senior picnic, as well as a senior drive-through. And we couldn't thank the PTSO enough for all of their support. And we would like to leave you with one small glimpse of the magic and the connections that take place each day at Riverhead High School.
And then we can go in and see how the blue ribbon bandanas works. Okay, so we go over here and we do the logos and we got them written down and everything. And there's a bunch of steps to it. So I do it, and then these are some of them that are done.
Very nice. So after the logo comes out of the machine, what happens, Wendy?
Peel it off.
You peel it off and you cut it.
Cut it.
Okay. Ashley, what's your job with the business?
First we put on the logo, then pick up the iron, then put the iron on the logo, and then iron on the logo.
Amazing. And once it's all ironed on, what's the last step?
And then we package and then stamp, and then this is like the little stamp on the
Amazing. You guys have been doing really good. So how many have you sold so far?
300.
300 bandanas? That's awesome. So have you guys been having fun doing this? What's your favorite part?
My favorite part is the ironing.
Okay. And what about you, Ann?
Really love the logo.
Peeling off the logos.
I like customizing the bandanas.
Very nice. So you guys all kind of do the job that matches your favorite part. Very cool. So what about all the cute pictures that come in?
I love it. It makes me happy when I see them.
Very good. What about you guys? You like seeing all the cute pics that come in? Okay, very good. I'm so proud of you girls. Say bye to everyone.
Bye. See you.
So Jocelyn, Wendy, and Ashley could not make it this evening, but they did want all of our board members to have their very own Blue Wave bandana. I will bring them up to you. You can trade them so that you get the perfect bandana to match your fur baby's personality. If you do not have your own fur baby, maybe you have a fur neighbor or a fur cousin that you would like to share your Blue Wave pride with. We thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. O'Hara, and thank you to the high school team, Ms. Parlato, Ms. Taylor, Mr. Rockhampt, Mr. Gassar. Watching this presentation, our students are so lucky at the high school. This was a fabulous presentation that shared with the board this evening and people at home and in the audience all of the activities and opportunities and programs that are offered to our students on a regular basis. Surely, Riverhead High School provides so much for our students. We're proud of our administrative team, proud of our teachers, our faculty and staff, and most of all, we're proud of our students, and we look forward to celebrating in the next month all of their wonderful accomplishments. So thank you.
King, that's it. Okay, so now we're going to move along to our consent agenda. Could I have a motion, please?
Motion.
Thank you, Mr. Wallace. Can I have a second? Thank you, Brian. All in favor? Motion passes.
Madam President?
Yes.
Did we do public comments on agenda items?
Yes, we did. There were no agenda.
Okay.
Moving on to new business. Appointment of vote worker for special district meeting. Can I have a motion?
Motion.
Thank you. Could I have a second? Thank you, Brian. All in favor? Motion passes. Item B, acceptance of results of special district meeting, May 18th, 2021. Can I have a motion?
Motion.
Thank you, Therese. Can I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Wallace. All in favor? Motion passes. Approval of tax anticipation note. Can I have a motion, please? Thank you, Brian. Could I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Virginia. All in favor? Thank you. All, motion passes. Approval of equipment purchase on a contingency budget. Resolved that the Board of Education of the Riverhead Central School District hereby declares the purchase of one MIG welder, Millimatic 252 series, input voltage, whatever, 240, 480, 575 VAC, flux core MIG welder to be an ordinary contingent expense, and hereby authorizes the expenditure of not more than $3,276.35 for this purchase. Can I have a motion?
Motion.
Thank you, Mr. Wallace. Can I have a second? Thank you, Brian. Any cares and concerns? Not seeing any? All in favor? Thank you. Motion passes. Contracts. Number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got 5 contracts, one with BOCES concerning the Career Exploration Program in the amount of $525 per student, not to exceed 50 students. Number 2 is a contract with Ambulatory dedicated concerning My Brother's Keeper program. That's $10,500 to be paid from the grant, the My Brother's Keeper grant. The other one is a contract with Scope Services to permit that the organization to operate a before and after school child care program for the Riverhead Central School District students at Aquabog Elementary School, Phillips Avenue Elementary School, Riley Avenue Elementary School, and Roanoke Avenue Elementary School during the 2021-2022 school year. Number 4 is a contract between the district and the town of Riverhead and Long Island Solar Generation. And number 5 is a contract for the cooperative educational services between the Riverhead Central School District and the Eastern Suffolk BOCES for shared services for the 2021-2022 school year. Can I have a motion? Thank you, Brian. Can I have a second? Thank you, Sue. Any cares or concerns, questions? Not seeing any. All in favor? Motion passes. We're going to continue. Contracts. We solicit, these are our bids, electrician services, contract with MD Electrical Services of Shoreham, sheet music to Catalano's Musical Products, New Hyde Park, and Music and Arts, Frederick, MD. Two-way radios and auxiliary equipment from Roger Radio in Mattatuck. Auto body repair services, Island-wide Auto Truck Collision LTD in Huntington. And claims auditor to Serini and Associates LLP, Bohemia. Motion?
Motion.
Thank you, Mr. Wallace. Second? Thank you, Brian. All in favor? Motion passes. There we go. Okay, approval of a memorandum agreement Resolved that the Board of Education Riverhead Central School District hereby approves two memorandums of agreement with the Riverhead Central School District Non-Instructional Unit, Suffolk County Educational Local 870, concerning the use of accumulated sick time. Can I have a motion? Thank you, Brian. Can I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Virginia. Any cares and concerns? Not seeing any. All in favor? Motion passes. Third and final reading of revised board policies. It's 5420 Student Health Services, 5420R Student Health Services Regulation, 6700-E.1 Purchasing Exhibit. Can I have a motion? Thank you, Therese. Can I have a second? Thank you, Brian. All in favor? Motion passes. Approval of donation. We have from Victoria Breen of office supplies and arts and craft supplies. We have two donations from Riverhead Strong, an organization that solicited donations from community members to offset costs of sports, music, and clubs in Riverhead High School and Riverhead Middle School. Each donation is in the amount of $1,531. Can I have a motion? First off, thank you. That's extremely generous. Can I have a motion? Thank you, Chris. Can I have a second? Thank you. Anybody have anything to say? Any cares or concerns?
No, but thank you for the donation.
Thank you, everybody. All in favor? Motion passes. Opportunity for board members. Any committee reports? Yes, sir.
The audit committee, made up of myself, Matt Wallace, and Virginia Healy, met on May 14th with Sam Schneider to interview representatives from Serini and Associates and McDonald, Rand, and Valero in response to the issuance of RFP 2022-170, Claims Auditor. We met with each firm separately. With each interview, we asked representatives to review their practices and procedures in the work as claims auditors. We also asked them to discuss their monthly written reports and their planned review of our payroll function. After some conversation, myself, Mr. Wallace, and Ms. Healy decided unanimously that they would recommend to the Board of Education that the proposal from Serini and Associates be accepted to begin July 1st, 2021. And that's it.
Thank you. Any other board members have any comments?
I was able to attend last week the high school PTSO meeting. This was Mary Mackey's last meeting as president. Mary has been involved with our PTSO for the last 12 years. The amount of work and accomplishments are too many to number. And I would like to I'd like to give Mary a heartfelt thank you for all the work and time that she's put in, and wish her well on her free time in her so-called retirement from the PTSO. Thank you, Mary.
Yes, thank you, Mary.
Thank you, Mary. Opportunity for RCFA.
Hold on.
Oh, wait a minute.
Now, the student council came up, they wanted permission to reach out to vendors to decorate the courtyard. Are we going to grant that to them, or?
Right, I'd like to get more information, what their needs were.
Start the conversation.
Huh?
Well, why not? Why wouldn't we allow them to?
Well, she asked a question, and we basically didn't answer her, and she sat down, and
Well, we didn't talk about it.
that's why I'm bringing it up now.
Okay, so let's talk.
Okay, I just want to grant them permission to decorate the courtyard.
Is everybody fine with that? Would you like to take a vote?
Yeah, I'll make a motion.
Do we need a vote on that? No, we don't need a vote. We can just do a consensus.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm good. You're good?
I just wanted to clarify, was there any special needs that of I'm trying to remember, was there anything that she needed, that they were looking for? Do you remember?
No, I think they were also, and
They're all
I'd also
set?
like to give consent that they were going to solicit businesses
outside
for,
businesses.
Okay.
for either financial or material supplies,
Right.
and I also consent to that.
Right. That's what I
Okay.
thought we were
I
consenting
think they
to.
were asking what they were allowed to do.
Right.
Right.
So what are they allowed to do? Can they do that? They can do that,
Very good, thank you.
Okay, great.
okay? So everybody's on board?
Yep.
We're all good. So the students can do that. Anybody else with any comments before we move on? Mr. Wallace, sorry.
No need to apologize, Mrs. Downs. The RCFA would like to congratulate Brian Conley and Colin Palmer on both their re-election and election to the Board of Education respectively. We'd also like to congratulate all the teachers that were here tonight and those who couldn't be here who received tenure. We seem to be turning a corner on the pandemic. Restrictions are slowly being lifted. More of the population is vaccinated. Activities and rites of passage are returning for our students. Our sports fields are filled with athletes and parents. On a personal note, I attended a baseball game as a parent the other day. I was so excited to see our students play. I didn't even complain about the umpire, which is rare for me. The junior prom was successfully held last weekend. The senior prom is around the corner, as well as a traditional graduation ceremony. The excitement of our students around the district is palpable. The governor announced that we can expect a full return to in-person learning in the fall, and come August, there will be a return of fall sports as well as clubs and music as a result of the overwhelming passage of the school budget. We cannot thank the community enough for the resounding message of support sent to the students of Riverhead on May 18th. The members of the association are excited for a return to normalcy, and we are getting closer to that every day. Thank you. Have a nice evening.
Thank you. Opportunity for public? Do we have anybody online?
Yes, there's one comment sent in by Kathleen Berensny from Riverhead. Congratulations to Brian Connolly on his second term as a Board of Education trustee. Hoping he will adhere to open communication and transparency with the public. Also, congrats to Colin Palmer as the new trustee who will start on July 1st. Looking forward to working with both of you in the year to come. Thank you.
Okie dokie. And I'd like to thank the community for passing the budget. I really appreciate everybody that came up and stood up and fought for it to pass. That was the PTOs worked hard on that. They made phone calls. They did everything. We had people doing postcards. The RCFA did their job. Everybody was out there doing everything that they had to do. Board members were making phone calls. We were really pushing this budget, and it came through, and I appreciate every single one of those votes. So, anybody else? With that all being said, have a motion to adjourn? Thank you, Mr. Wallace. Second. Thank you, Virginia. All in favor? Thank you. Good night, everybody.